I headed to the Dollar Tree and picked up this inexpensive wire wreath form. In a well-ventilated area, spray the wire form until the green base is fully covered in gold paint. Next, spray paint or hand paint your stars in the color of your choice. I stuck with the gold theme for this one. Once your stars are dry, grab your hot glue gun and your metallic foam balls. Begin gluing the balls one by one in the pattern of your choice. I decided to cover only half of the large star and outline the rest of the shape with the remaining balls. Once dry, take your smaller stars and hot glue them onto the wire wreath. Grab your fairy lights and begin wrapping the wire securely around the wreath form. If you can't reach behind the stars to hide the battery pack, you can add another decorative element. I used this really dramatic ribbon to add some elegance to my wreath. There you have it, a New Year's Eve wreath that can transition from day to night. I hope this inspired you to create your own New Year's Eve light-up wreath.
I'm Chloe Crabtree from CelebrateAndDecorate.com, and you're watching Hometalk. I'm starting this project with an 18-inch straw wreath form. You see how it comes wrapped in plastic? Don't take the plastic off. If you do, the straw will start to fall off. We're going to start this project with some leftover Christmas tinsel. If you don't have some, or garland, you can pick this up on sale all over the place. So let's take this, and we're going to take some S-pins, floral pins, greening pins, whatever you like to call them. And we're going to start on the back side and pin this really tight. Just push your pin right down in there, and we're just going to wrap the whole wreath very thick. You want these very tight next to each other, okay? And we're just going to go ahead and wrap it. When you get to the end of your first piece of garland, I want it to be on the back again. Just going to take an S-pin and push it right into that, and I'm just going to cut this little tail off so that that all stays in the back, like so. And we've got about a quarter of it done, and this is a 15-foot garland. So let's get to work with the next piece. Our wreath is all covered with the tinsel, and it's looking good, but it looks a little black in places. And then I spotted this garland, and I'm like, oh wow, this is really sparkly. I like this. So I'm going to use this to loosely wrap. So once again, I have secured the end of this with an S-pin or greening pin, and I will go ahead and start to wrap. Remember, we're not doing this tight around like we did the first layer when we were trying to cover our straw wreath form. Instead, we just want to add a little bit more reflection to this wreath. So there we go. It's looking quite pretty, isn't it? And now we're going to add those disco balls. And all I need to do for these is same thing. I'm going to use these S-pins and put them right through the string, or right through the hole if we want them really snug. And I'm just going to, again, dig through the garland, dig through the tinsel a little to find just the plastic of the straw and stick them right in. I think I'm going to gather these larger ones here at the top, kind of like a cluster. So there we are. That's how we're going to get started. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start adding my smaller ones all around. Now that I have groupings of them all around, I'm going to take some single ones and fill in and just put the S-pin right through the loop on the top of the holder. I think this 2022 looks best like right here, so it shows up in the hole in the center of the wreath. So I'm going to take this stick and this wire that it's on and see if I can secure it with a couple of S-pins in a couple of different places and keep it from wiggling around. There we go, 2022. I'm thinking that I like it just like it is. Gosh, if you had a dark colored door, my door is light blue, but wouldn't this be pretty on a dark door? Alrighty, time to go hang it up. Here's my wreath on my front door, and after New Year's Eve, all I need to do is pull out that little 2022, and I have a bright and sparkly wreath ready to last through the winter. And you can see I've just added a couple little strings of garland along the sides of my door and along the top to coordinate with it. So I hope you like this project and try it, and have a happy new year.
I picked out one of these giant disco balls from Five Below. So first things first, we have got to remove the hanger. So what we're going to do now is just remove a few more of these little glass pieces, just like that. Now we're going to work in this glittered pine stem, and of course it doesn't look like your typical pine, but it does have that white pine texture. So all we're going to do is just snip each piece individually so that we have more manageable size pieces about yay long. So we're going to place one sticking straight up, and then we can place one on either side as well. And going with the silver theme, we also have this really pretty spray. So we're going to do the same thing with these. We're going to take them, just bend them down a little bit, and work them right into the styrofoam. And we have one final piece that will just work up top. Now we have some of these really pretty ornament sprays. So we have these in silver, gold, and red. And again, just work it simply into the styrofoam. Then we're going to take another one and we're going to place it behind the arrangement. After stepping back and looking at it, I really love the way these look in it. So we're going to come back in with a couple more. So this one we're going to place a little bit closer. And then we're going to come back in with one more right about here. So let me step back and give you guys the full reveal. And here's how it turned out, you guys, and I absolutely love it. So I love how sparkly it is, and I love that we kept it all silver. But keep in mind, the disco balls come in all shapes, colors, and sizes, so feel free to have some fun with it and mix up the colors if you choose. Thank you all so much for watching. Happy New Year. I'm Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Hometalk.
Grab some plastic cups to make this sparkly holiday decor. I was at the dollar store the other day and grabbed a pizza pan and several packs of plastic cups. To make sure that my cups have lots of sparkle to them, I started by dipping each one in clear glue and then into some iridescent glitter. You can also use hot glue around the rim of the cup to hold the sparkles as well. Once I sparkled up about 45 cups, I let them sit and dry overnight. With the cups all dry, it's time to start assembling this fun piece. I'm going to use this large Tupperware lid in the middle of the pizza pan to help me keep the cups centered and in line. This will make it a lot easier when I'm attaching them. To attach them all together, I'm going to use a little hot glue to the base of one and then stick it to another cup. Hold them for a couple of seconds while the glue dries. I find this works best to keep them in line. I'll keep doing this until all of the cups are around and attached on the bottom layer. With the bottom cups all attached, I want to start weaving some small battery-operated lights around the cups. These lights have a remote control, so they're perfect for this project because I can just turn them on and off from anywhere. Now that I have the lights weaved in and out of the base layer, it's time to add another layer of cups. I'll keep using the hot glue to attach the cups until I have filled the dome in. I'll also weave the lights around the cups as I continue to go. When I get to the top of the dome, I can't quite fit an entire cup in, so I've trimmed off the bottom and then it fits in perfectly into that last space. Before I can hang my sparkle ball, I want to make a way to hang it that's a little bit easier. So that's where the pizza pan comes into play. I'm going to give it a good sanding with a sanding sponge to scuff up that slick surface. Now I'm going to use some white paint to cover one side. And while the paint is still wet, I'm going to add the same glitter I used on the cups and sprinkle it all over the pizza pan. Once the paint is dry, it's time to finish off my new sparkle ball. The glitter's all stuck into place on the pan, so I don't have to worry about that falling off. And I want to add the battery pack before I add the dome of cups. A little hot glue around the edge of the pan is enough to keep all of the cups in place. I'm going to finish this with just adding a little string on the back that'll allow me to hang it, and I'll be back in just a moment to show you how pretty and sparkly it looks.